What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my picks for MLB
Sunday, September 20th.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made.
Okay guys, let's take a look at this 9-game main slate. At the pitcher position, I'm going to save some salary for my batters here. I like Jose Urquidy with a 5% pitching advantage over a low salary batting team, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Jose Urquidy, he's only giving up a .526 OPS versus lefties, and he's facing 6 lefties here tonight. Now, the Diamondbacks have only hit 1 of his last 5 pitches, so it's a small sample size. We can throw that out. But he's only $6,500 FanDuel salary and $800 more on DraftKings. He has an ERA of 2.70. He's 1-1 on the season, pitching an average of 80 pitches per game, averaging 26 fantasy points per game. He scored 49, 19, and 11 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Jose Urquidy here versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Okay, let's take a look at the first base position. Now that we've saved that salary at our pitcher position, we've got a lot of extra salary here for the batters. So I like Freddy Freeman with a 39% batting advantage over Rick Porcello. Freddy Freeman is batting 37% better versus righty pitchers. He's batting a 1.124 OPS versus righties. And Rick Porcello, he doesn't pitch that well versus lefties. He pitches his worst ball versus lefty batters, giving up a .833 OPS versus lefties. Freddy Freeman is 6 for 15, batting .400 with a .900 OPS versus Porcello. He's $4,100 FanDuel salary and $1,500 more on DraftKings. He's averaging 15 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 0, 28, and 9 fantasy points in the last 3 games. I think he bounces back pretty strong from that donut he put up last game. He's projected at 12.9 fantasy points here tonight. So I like Freddy Freeman here versus Rick Porcello. Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. I'm going to throw a value play in for you here. I like Mike Brousseau with a 32% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, John Means. Mike Brousseau is batting 24% better versus lefty pitchers. He's batting a .975 OPS versus lefties. And John Means, he throws 8% worse to righties than he does lefties, throws his worst ball to righties, giving up a .784 OPS versus righties. Brousseau is 4 for 9, batting a .444 batting average and a 1.888 OPS versus Means. 3 of those 4 hits were for home runs. And he's only $2,600 FanDuel salary, but he's $2,500 more on DraftKings. So I love that FanDuel price. He's averaging 7 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 6, 3, and 15 fantasy points in the last 3 games, projected at 11.2 fantasy points here tonight. So I like Mike Brousseau here versus John Means.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, Just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. I like Jeff McNeil with a 48% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Kyle Wright. Jeff McNeil is batting 18% better versus righty pitchers. He's batting a .961 OPS versus righties. And Kyle Wright, he pitches his worst ball by far to lefty batters, 30% worse than his other pitches, giving up a 1.170 OPS versus lefties. And McNeil is 4 for 5, batting .800 with a 2 OPS versus right. He's only $2,900 FanDuel salary and $500 more on DraftKings. So I like that DraftKings price. He's averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season. He's been consistent, scoring 9, 10, and 12 fantasy points in the last 3 games, projected at 11 fantasy points here this afternoon. So I like Jeff McNeil here versus Kyle Wright. Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. I like Francisco Lindor. Well, he doesn't have a batting advantage here, but he is batting a .796 OPS versus lefties. And Matthew Boyd, he pitches his worst ball versus switch hitters, giving up a .782 OPS versus switch hitters. Francisco Lindor is 12 for 30, batting a .400 with a 1.155 OPS versus Boyd. He's $3,700 FanDuel salary and $1,500 more on DraftKings. He's averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season, and he scored 6, 16, and 7 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Francisco Lindor here versus Matthew Boyd. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. I like Dominique Smith with a 38% batting advantage over that low salary pitcher, Kyle Wright. Dominique Smith, he's batting 8% better versus righty pitchers. He's batting a .977 OPS versus righties. And Kyle Wright, we know he pitches his worst ball versus lefty batters, 30% worse than his other pitches, giving up a 1.170 OPS versus lefties. And Smith is 3 for 4, batting a .750 and a 2.3 OPS versus right. He's $3,500 FanDuel salary and $1,200 more on DraftKings. He's been on fire here. He's averaging 13 fantasy points per game on the season, and he scored 19, 6, and 31 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Dominique Smith here versus Kyle Wright.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this MLB slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.